Guys, how are you? Today, really shortly, I wanted to share with you something which completely changed my perception on some things. And basically, what happened is one of my friends sent me a reel on Instagram, which basically says, "What is your love language?" And then the guy says, "It's words of affirmation." And then the reel asks, "What is your most toxic trait with yourself?" And the guy's like, "I talk shit to myself all the time." And he was like, well, basically, that's what my friends do. They send me psychological reels on Instagram. And at first I was like, well, this is bullshit. And then I started thinking, and it took me maybe a day to accept this. Like, I don't know, it really caught up. And it took me a day to accept this. So basically, okay, if you don't know what love languages are, basically it's the way that you want to be loved or the way that you receive love the best. There are 5 of them: words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, quality time, and acts of service. And basically, it depends on how your parents raised you and so on. And you can express love in a different way that you kind of want to receive it. So, for example, you can express love through acts of service, but you want to receive it through words of affirmation. And it's also like a way of categorizing, but I think it's cool if you know yours, because of course, like we have several ones of them, but one will be dominant. If you know what yours are and what your partner's is, and then you kind of can expect what they want from you. Or, for example, if your parents' love language is acts of service and you're bringing them gifts, probably they're like, they don't love me, like, because you don't express your love in the way that they're ready to understand it. But okay, so back to the thing. I was thinking, okay, my love language primary is quality time. And I'm like, but what the hell? How can I like spend time with myself and with myself all the time anyway? And then once it struck me, I sat there like, oh my freaking God, because I was like, I really don't spend time with myself, just by myself. I'm alone a lot of the time, and I really like being alone. And when I'm around people, I feel overwhelmed and I want to go back to my house and like not be around people anymore. And I always feel like I don't get enough time alone. And I was like, but I'm alone most of the time anyway. Like, what is this? And then I realized that I was avoiding being with myself. When I'm alone, every time, all the time, I'm either on my phone on Instagram, or I'm watching YouTube videos, or I'm reading something, or whatever. I'm distracting myself from myself all the time, creating this medium between me and my own like emotions, processes, and so on, so that I am not really with myself. I'm by myself, but I'm not with myself. And I'm like, how am I expecting someone to give me this if I'm not even giving this to myself? And although like none of my friends, I sent it to many of my friends just to see if it also works for them. Well, it didn't. But I think that actually they just didn't understand the assignment. So, well, the thing about love languages, I think basically it's really just like what we want from other people is something that we don't really give ourselves. Because if you, or on my example, if I would spend quality time with myself, but no phone, no distraction, just sitting there with myself, then I wouldn't need it from others because I would already have it, and I would not be so persistent in wanting to receive it from people, and I would not get so offended when people don't give it to me. And I think it goes to everything and everyone. So for example, if you think that your partner doesn't show you enough love, like they don't tell you enough that they love you, watch how you talk to yourself. Maybe you're just talking shit to yourself all the time and you don't even notice. Or if you feel like your partner doesn't give you enough gifts, it's like, are you spending enough money on yourself, or do you just put it all aside and never ever spoil yourself? Or if your partner, for example, doesn't like do enough for you, like acts of service, do you actually do enough for yourself? How is your house? Is it in order? Check yourself first before expecting it from other people somehow. This is what I take from it, at least. Because how do we expect someone to love us and give it to us if we don't even recognize it? If you're not used to it, if you're not used to spending quality time with yourself, how will you recognize it in a partner? It will seem so unfamiliar to you that you will gravitate towards people that will negate, whatever, like they will not give it to you because you will not recognize it. You only recognize things that you already kind of have within yourself. So if you want something, you need to first kind of create it inside of yourself in order for it to appear in other people. and then you will actually not even need it as much. And this is when you get things when you don't need them. So, well, my point here today is that maybe what you most expect from other people and what you most feel like you're not getting from other people is something that you actually are not giving to yourself. And it's worth spending an extra day, half an hour, I don't know how long it takes you to accept this about yourself, but to just think about it and think about it well and start making steps towards making it better. After I realized this, I started just actively forcing myself, creating habits of being more mindful when I'm with myself, not having something playing on, not checking my phone all the time, having just relaxed evenings when I don't even turn the computer on and so on. Because if you don't, well, if you just have the information but you don't apply it, it's worth nothing. It's about the habits. And, well, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what works for me and what I find about it. So, well, hope that it helps. Maybe I hope that it's as eye-opening and enlightening as it was for me. Probably it's not, but like I needed to share anyway. And yeah, tell me what your love language is. And just if you find this to be true, if you ever had an experience of changing this somehow, just whatever you want, basically, tell me. I wish you a nice December holiday season, whatever, and see you in the next video.